Well, since the horrific Hamas terror attacks on October 7 last year, there's been a shocking rise in anti-Semitism around the world. The situation's become so bad here in Australia that many Jewish residents in Sydney were too scared to venture out last night for New Year's Eve celebrations. And this morning, a 76-year-old Jewish doctor was hospitalised after being beaten in the head as he collected his rubbish bins in the Melbourne suburb of Brighton. Police have arrested a man in relation to that attack, and shockingly, police say they intend to release the alleged attacker on summons. Now, recent Victoria Police figures published in the Herald Sun show there were 153 anti-Semitic incidents recorded between October 7 and December 20. 153, that's compared with 28 anti-Muslim incidents. Now, accounting for population differences, those statistics mean Jewish Victorians are 32 times more likely than Muslim Victorians to face a hate incident during that period. Joining me now is Australian Jewish Association President David Adler. David, are you surprised by those statistics? Because if you listen to politicians and law enforcement officials, you'd think that anti-Semitism and Islamophobia were equally problematic right now.
James, we are shocked by those statistics, and we're shocked by what's happened in Australia, across Australian society. I didn't expect in my lifetime to see the explosion of anti-Semitism. But the statistics that you quoted are really only the surface. If you look at the nature of the incidents, they're completely different. We have had numerous death threats. We've seen assaults in our community. And perhaps if I relate a question and answer in a meeting I had with counter-terrorism police a few weeks ago, because we had been passing information to them about various threats against the Jewish community. And many of these, unfortunately, as implied by those statistics, arose out of the Muslim community. Not all, but many did. And I asked them, have there been any significant threats from the Jewish community directed at Muslims?
Right.
And their answer was zero. So I think the Islamic ones tend to be insults on social media or perhaps an insult in the streets. But in terms of significant threats that come to the police attention, it's one-way street.
I want to take you through a few incidents I saw over the weekend. Have a look at this protest on New Year's Eve in Melbourne. I want to get your thoughts on it.
Sure.
5, 6, 7, 8. Israel is a terrorist state. 1, 2, 3, 4. Occupation going on. 5, 6, 7, 8. Israel is a terrorist state. No celebration. No celebration. No celebration.
So, David, with those sort of protests on the streets New Year's Eve, no wonder the Jewish community was saying we don't feel safe to go out and celebrate the new year.
Well, we actually encourage people to go out and to do normal activities. But what you're seeing there is propaganda. It's not based on fact. It doesn't provide any sort of balance. It doesn't comment on the terrorism that provoked the conflict. And it shouldn't be happening on Australian streets. I mean, we believe in the right to protest and free speech, but this is getting very, very close to incitement.
Yeah.
It's inciting hatred against a particular community. It's getting very close in some cases to inciting violence. And we are disappointed that our law enforcement authorities haven't been more rigorous in applying the law.
I think you're being very generous saying they haven't been more rigorous. They haven't been anywhere near rigorous at all.